On the 4th of September 2018, 3,000 people were trapped on an island off the coast of Japan. They were not trapped by the sea, they were trapped by a ship. A 2,500-ton tanker, torn from its moorings by winds of 216 kilometers an hour, drifted across Osaka Bay and struck the only bridge connecting that island to the mainland. The power went out, the air conditioning stopped. Seawater climbed over the runway until parked aircraft stood flooded to their engines. For the next 18 hours, there was no way off. Not by road, not by rail, and certainly not by air. Which raises a question nobody asks about an airport until the moment it matters. Why was there only one way out? The answer is that Kansai International Airport is not built on an island. It is the island. Japan made it. Out of nothing. In open water, roughly 5 kilometers off the coast of Osaka, where the bay is more than 18 meters deep. When it opened in September 1994, it was the first airport on Earth built entirely on artificial land in the open sea. One bridge in, one bridge out. That was always the design. Which leaves a stranger question. Why would anyone put an airport in the ocean in the first place? Because Osaka had run out of room. The city's existing airport, Atami, was hemmed in by housing on every side. It could not grow. It could not run at night. Every extra flight meant another noise complaint from people living under the approach. So Japan stopped looking for land and started making it. $20 billion. 2 artificial islands. A seawall finished before a single terminal existed. And it worked. In 1995, the Great Hanshin earthquake devastated nearby Kobe. Kansai came through with minimal damage. In 2001, it was named a Civil Engineering Monument of the Millennium. It has been ranked the best airport in the world for baggage handling, going a full decade without losing a single piece of checked luggage. Last year, it connected more than 30 million passengers to 91 cities. By almost every measure, it is one of the most successful airports ever built. So how did the sea get in? Because of what is underneath it. The floor of Osaka Bay is soft alluvial clay. Engineers knew it would compress under the weight of an island. So they drove hundreds of thousands of vertical sand columns into the seabed, forcing water out of the clay so the ground would settle early before anything was built on top of it. They expected about 8 meters of settlement spread across 50 years. They got more than 12 meters in the first 8. The upper clay behaved, the deeper layers did not. Riddled with pockets of sand, they compressed unevenly and far faster than any model predicted. The island was going down quicker than the design allowed for, and every year the seawall stood a little lower against the water. That wall was built for a storm surge of 2.7 meters. When Jebi arrived in 2018, the strongest typhoon to strike Japan in 25 years, the surge and the high tide combined. A survey taken after the storm found watermarks reaching 3.03 meters. The sea did not break the wall, it simply went over the top of it. So how much further down does this go? It is still sinking today, about 5 centimeters every year. The first island now sits roughly 3.84 meters lower than the day it opened. Counting from the moment the landfill began, it has dropped close to 13 meters. Projections suggest that by 2056, parts of it could fall another 4 meters, which would put sections of a working international airport level with the sea. Japan is not letting that happen quietly. Inside Terminal 1, engineers monitor individual support columns and physically jack them up, sliding steel plates underneath to keep the floor flat, while the ground beneath it keeps giving way. So did Japan actually lose an airport? Not in 2018. Domestic flights resumed on the 7th of September, 3 days after the storm. The bridge was repaired, the runway dried out. The luggage record survived. Japan lost this airport in a much slower way. It has been losing it since 1994. A few centimeters at a time, every single year. And nobody has worked out how to make it stop.